So basically the factory manual says to test the fuel pressure between the fuel filter and then into the rail. So I'm reading here, it also says that the fuel pressure at idle should be 30 pounds. So we're going to go ahead and hook everything up and test the idle pressure.
Go again.
So here we got the car idling. We're showing a good 30 pounds of fuel pressure. We're going to go ahead and let the fuel pump warm up, and then we'll see what the pressure looks like after that. After letting the car idle for a little bit and letting the fuel pump warm up, I'm going to go ahead and write down that we're getting a good 29 to 30 pounds of fuel pressure during idle, and then we'll go ahead and do some rev tests to see what happens to the fuel pressure after that. So here I'm asking my girlfriend to slowly give it a little bit of gas to see how the fuel pressure will react.
Do it and hold it.
As we saw on the fuel pressure gauge, we've seen a small pressure drop with the fuel pressure. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is have her rev it a little bit higher for a longer period and see what it does. So what I noticed during that test is that the fuel pressure actually went down to about 20 to 22 pounds. And what should actually happen is when you give it gas is it should rise up to 37 pounds. It should hold a constant 30 pounds when idle or anything else happens. So what I'm having her do here is floor it, so we should see the fuel pressure rise, which we did, but it did not rise enough to where if it were at idling at 30 pounds that it would go up to 37 pounds. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take the car on the drive, warm up the fuel pump a little bit more, and then we're going to see how the fuel reacts then. So if you listen closely when I get back out onto the main road, when I give it a little bit of gas, it tries to die out. It doesn't seem like I'm losing spark or compression because it just loses all power, so listen closely. That little hiccup is what I was talking about as far as losing power, so I'm going to limp it back into the neighborhood, and if you listen closely in the neighborhood as well, I will try to recreate the issue for you guys. So the jumping back and forth between acceleration is not me going on and off of the accelerator pedal. It is actually when I give it more than about 1/4 of a throttle and it cuts all power. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go back, have her rev it some more, and see what happens with the fuel pressure. So what we saw there from revving it for maybe a second or two is a 10-pound drop in fuel pressure, which is not what was supposed to happen. I had her mat it all the way to the floor to do that, and it was supposed to rise to 37, but it actually went down to 20 pounds. So I'm going to do more, and we should see it go even lower the more she does it.
One more time. Slowly.
So after one final test, we see that revving it for a second or two drops the fuel pressure down to 20 pounds, and then letting it sit and revving it again, it goes all the way down to 15 pounds. As I said earlier, it should be going up to 37 pounds of pressure when accelerating. So what I'm thinking is when you're driving it, it drops fuel pressure all the way to about 20 to 15 pounds. When you shift and give it more gas to let off the clutch, it doesn't have the fuel pressure there that it needs to keep running. Therefore, we lose all power and we die out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is clean up. I have to go ahead and order a new fuel pump, try that out, and then we'll be ready to go then.
When you mat it, it says it should be at 37, so the fuel pressure should go up, but in this case, it goes down. We have a normal idling pressure, which is around 30 to 29 psi, which it's saying 30 here, but it's saying when you give it gas, it should be 37. So I can't tell if that's the pump or the dampener. I'll keep reading and I'll look into it, but seems like the pump.
If you guys like watching me work on the 280, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe. There will be a ton more videos to come. We have all suspension to do all the way around, bushings, paint job, bodywork, everything. Right now we're just trying to get this thing up and running, driving down the road so we can enjoy it while we work on it. Again, we will have a lot more videos than just on the 280. We have plenty of cars to work on, but we will go ahead and end it off here. Thank you guys for watching again.